Or the first problem we're going to do is 18 for you. So I'm going to go from 0 to 2 of this. So if I put in 0, I'm going to get 1 over 1, which is 1. If I put in 1, I'm going to get 1 over the square root of 2, which is coming down. And if I put in 2, I get 1 over the square root of 5, which is even lower. So I get something that looks like that. And we're going to spin this around. X equals 0. So that means this around this way so it kind of looks like a circus tent. But they want us to do shell, so we slice it then parallel to the axis of rotation. So it's going to be a slice like this. So the slice is going to be dx. And x is going to go from 0 to 2. And we're doing these rings. So we're doing the circumference of the ring times the height times the thickness. So it's 2 pi r, but the r is a radius x. And the height is the value of the function, which is this. So that's going to be 1 over the square root of x squared plus 1. And this is set up nicely for substitution. U equals x squared plus 1. du would equal 2x times dx. Divide by the 2x is dx. So we're going to replace dx with that. We're going to replace, let's see. Yes, we're going to replace this with u. So that's going to be u to the negative 1/2 because it's in the denominator. And we've got this x here that's going to cancel. And we got the integral, and we got new units on it. 0 squared plus 1 is 1. 2 squared is 4 plus 1 is 5. 2 pi. 2 pi r times the height. So, integrating u to the negative 1/2 would be, add 1 to that would get 1/2, and divide by 1/2 would make it 2u to the 1/2, or this 2 times the square root of u, times 2 pi. Evaluated from 1 to 5. So I'm going to get 4 pi times the square root of 5 minus square root of 1 is 1, minus 4 pi, which is 4 pi times square root of 5 minus 1 if you factor the 4 pi out. Okay, 24. So that says graph this here. Let's see what we got. So y minus 4 would go through a plus 4 on the y. Would make x 0. If I put 4 in, 4 minus 4 is 0, times 4 equals 0, well, x would be 0. And also go through 0. It's going to be a y squared, so it's going to go this way. Something like that. And this one is centered at y. It's minus 2, so it moves it up to 2. And it's a y squared, and it's going to go. Did I copy down something wrong? Because these don't cross each other. think I must have copied something down incorrectly. Let me check that real quickly. 24. Oh, it's 4 minus y. There we go. That would make this one go this way. There, much better. And the other one is has a vertex at 2 and goes this way. So we've got this region between them. We ignore this one. That was a mistake. Okay. And we're going to spin that about the x-axis. About the x-axis. This is this way. So we've got to figure out where they cross here and here. It looks like it at about x equal 1 or y equal 1. So if I put 1 in here, I get 3 times 1, which is 3. If I put 1 in here, I get I put 1 in here, I get 3 times 1, which is 3. If I put 1 in here, I don't get them to equal. Let's just do this. So I got 4y minus y squared equals y squared minus 4y plus 4. So I'll add y squared to both sides. Subtract 4y from both sides. Divide both sides by 2. And I'm not sure I like how this is turning out here, but anyway. So using the quadratic formula, because that doesn't factor. The opposite of b, plus or minus the square root of 16 minus 4 times 1 times that's minus 8 over 2. 16 minus 8 is 8. Square root of 8 is 2 square roots of 2. So that would be 2 plus or minus the square root of 2. And that's the y values, the low and the high. So we're going to integrate from 2 minus the square root of 2 to 2 plus the square root of 2. Shells, so that's going to be something like this. That's going to rotate down to here, making rings. The thickness would be a dy, and it's going to be 2 pi r. The radius will be, it's around the x-axis, so the radius will be just y. And the height will be the difference between the one that's going this way, which is the first one, and this is just a height, so I don't have to square it. So the first one, I put this too close here, which is 4y minus y squared minus the second one, which is y minus 2 squared. So, getting a little messy here. This one should be a little better. 2 pi from 2 minus the square root of 2 to 2 plus the square root of 2. Okay, and y minus 2 squared is y squared minus 4y plus 4, but we got to make the minus of all those. And so I've got minus y squared, which is minus 2y squared, plus 4y, plus 8y. And then there's this minus 4. And all of this is times y. So this becomes y to the third, y squared, and 4y dy. That's what we got to now integrate. So that's 2 pi from 2 minus the square root of 2 to 2 plus the square root of 2 of negative, let's see, integrating that would go 4 divided by 4, so that would be minus 1/2 y to the fourth. And this would be plus 8/3 y to the third. This would be minus 2y squared. And that's integrated, so this is gone. Sorry. I was going to get it nice and clean. From 2 minus the square root of 2 to 2 plus the square root of 2. Oh my goodness gracious, what a mess. I think I'm going to run out of room here. I'm going to have to run on to another sheet here. We'll fix that. There we go. Now we got room. So we got 2 pi minus 1/2 times 2 plus the square root of 2 to the fourth. Zowies, that's going to be ugly. Plus 8/3 times 2 plus the square root of 2 to the third, minus 2 times 2 plus the square root of 2 squared. All of that minus 1/2 of 2 minus the square root of 3 squared, plus 8/3 times 2 minus the square root of 2 to the third. And then we have minus 2 of these squared. And all of that's times 2 pi. Oh, I don't want to do this. And I bet you didn't want to either. So we get 2 pi minus 1/2. This squared is going to be 4 plus 4 square roots of 2 plus 2. That's the inside squared, and so then we got to square it again. Plus, this is going to be 8/3 times this squared, which is going to be 4 plus 4 square roots of 2 plus 2 times one more of these 2 plus the square root of 2 minus 2 times this squared, which is 4 plus 4 square roots of 2 plus 2. And that's the first one. Minus. And then we got this. Minus 1/2. And this to that is just going to be pretty much the same as this. 4 minus 4 square roots of 2 plus 2. Still got to square that. And then we've got plus 8/3 times 4 minus 4 square roots of 2 plus 2. That times another 2 minus the square root of 2. And then we got minus 2 times 4 minus 4 square roots of 2 plus 2. And so now all of that, criminy. So all of this, go ahead. So we're going to have 2 pi, and this is going to be, this is actually 6 plus 4 square roots of 2. We got to square that. Go ahead. Huh? Okay, so we've got minus 1/2 times this squared, 36, minus or plus 24 square roots of 2 plus 16 times 2 is 32. Yes. And then we're going to have plus 8 thirds, and we're going to have, this is 6 plus 4 square roots of 2 times this, so that's going to be 12 plus 6 square roots of 2 plus 8 square roots of 2. 6 and 8 is 14. It's going to be a miracle if I don't make a mistake on this. And then that times that's going to be 8. And then 2 times this is, see, that's 6 plus 4 square roots of 2 times a minus 2 is going to be minus 12 minus 8 square roots of 2. All of that minus, we do this one, we're going to get pretty much the same stuff, except we're going to get the middle term here is going to be minus, because this is going to be 6 minus 4 square roots of 2. So we're going to get 36 minus 24 square roots of 2 plus 32. Plus 8 thirds. And on this one, the only difference is that these are minus, so that's going to make that middle term turn to minus, so it's going to be 12 minus 14 square roots of 2 plus 8. And then this one, that's going to turn that to positive. Minus and minus is plus. So we got minus 12 plus 8 square roots of 2. Okay. So this minus 1/2 times the 36 and minus 1/2 times the 32, subtracting the same things, this and these will cancel, and we're going to get minus 1/2 of 24 is minus 12 square roots of 2, and this is going to be plus 12 square roots of 2, but with the minus it's being minus 12, so that's going to be minus 24 square roots of 2 minus 1/2, that's minus 12, and minus a minus, which is plus a minus 12, so it's minus 24. And then we've got, what do we got here? We've got, these all look the same. This would cancel here because of that minus, and these will cancel because of that minus, and so we've got 8 thirds of this, and this minus will make it plus, so we're going to have 8 thirds plus 8 thirds. We're going to have 16 thirds of 14 square roots of 2. And then we're going to have these canceling, and this is going to be minus 8 square roots of 2 minus 8 square roots of 2 minus 16 square roots of 2. Oh my goodness gracious. So, minus 24 minus 16 is minus 40. plus 16 times 14 divided by 3, 74 and 2/3. So we got 2 pi times 34 and 2/3 square roots of 2. I'm going to leave it like that. That's what I got. But undoubtedly, I have some errors in that. But this is an ugly problem. But anyway, you get the idea. All right. Now let's do not so ugly problem, hopefully. Okay. Region A, about x equal not 2, not 1, not 0, not -1, but -3. Region A, round that. So it's going to be a big circle here for this. And they're going to be slices this way if we're going to do shell method. So if I do shell method, then there'd be one matching over here. And the shell's thickness would be a dx. And so we do 2 pi r, and the r will be x plus 3. That's r. 2 pi r, that's how far around the shell. The height of the shell is 6 minus the height of this equation, which is x squared plus 2. 6 minus that height is that height. That's the height of each of these shells. And times dx. And we're going to integrate this for x starting at 0 and going to 2. And that was probably the easiest way to do this one. So what do we got here? This is minus x squared plus 8. So we got to multiply these. So we're going to have minus x cubed plus 8x minus 3x squared plus 24 dx, which is 2 pi 0 to, now I'm going to integrate this. 2 pi negative x to the 4th over 4 plus 8, actually 4x squared minus x to the 3rd plus 24x evaluated from 0 to 2. They all have x's, so I don't have to worry about the 0. And so it's going to be 2 pi, 2 and there's 16 divided by 4 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16 minus 8 plus 48. 16 from 8, 16 minus 8 is 8, minus 4 is 4, so it's 52 times 2 pi, which is 104 pi. Much nicer problem than the last one. Okay, 42. Which region are we supposed to do on 42 here? I've forgotten. Let's take a look here. 42 says region B. So this region, about x equal minus 3. So that's 2, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So we're taking this around. I'm just going to do shell on this because I think that'll be pretty easy. So I'm making a vertical slice, which would be dx. It's going to make a ring that's going to be clear over here. And so it's going to be 2 pi. X is going to go from 0 to 2. And the radius is going to be x plus 3. And the height is just going to be y, or x squared plus 2. And so we've got, and the dx. So this multiplied out is going to be 2 pi integral from 0 to 2 of x to the third plus 2x plus 3x squared plus 6, which is 2 pi x to the fourth over 4 integrated plus x squared plus x to the third plus 6x. Evaluated from 0 to 2. The zeros are going to wipe out, so it's just going to be the 2, which is going to be 16 over 4, or 4. And then we've got plus 4, plus 8, plus 24. Everything's plus. Oh, it's so nice. 8 and 8 is 16, so that's 40 times 2 pi. It's 80 pi. And 48. So this is going to cross on the y-axis at 0 and plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. And it's going to be a minus y squared, so that's going to go this way. And x equals 0 is here, so this region is what they want us to look at. And we're going to do it about the x-axis, so it's going to go this way. So I'm going to do rings again. So this is just a thin ring that's dy thick. And the distance around is 2 pi r, and r is y. And the width of it's going to be the height under this curve, which is just x, and x is y times 5 minus y. So there's the height, or this measurement here. This is the radius, and 2 pi r makes the distance around times y. So we got, we're going to go from y starting at 0 and going to 5. 2 pi 0 to 5. Y squared times 5 is 5y squared minus y to the third. Boy, that looks so easy. 2 pi 5 thirds y to the third minus y to the fourth over 4 from 0 to 5. But 0 is not going to give us anything, so we're going to get 125, 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 is 625, is that right? over 3 minus 625 over 4, I believe that is. Just do a quick check. I don't want to mess up here. 5 to the 4th. Yeah. So I would multiply this one by 4, this one by 3, and so I've got 4 625s minus 3, which is just 625 over 12 times 2 pi. 2 goes in there, 6, so I got pi times 625 over 6. All right, last one, 54. And they gave you this picture, and they said this about y minus is minus 2. And let's see here. Did they tell us how high this was? Minus 1, I think. Let's see here. When x is 0, y would be 2. That's 2, so minus 2 would be about there. And when x is 0, this would be at 4. But we just got this region. But this, so let's do shells. This would actually be easier with disk because then it would be just this minus this squared. But I'm going to do shells, so I'm going to go like this and do dy. And the radius is going to be y plus 2. So we're going to have 2 pi integral from, we're going to have to do something to here and then switch and go to this one. So 0 to how high is this? Well, it says at 1. If I put 1 in there, I get 3. If I put 1 in here, I get 3. So it's 1 to 3, or 0 to 3, doing this one, and then another one from 3 to however high this one is at 2, and that would be 8 plus 2, 10. And we're going to have 2 pi r, which is going to be y plus 2 times this width, which is 2 minus x dy. So I need to find out what this x is on this one. So that would be y minus 4, actually 4 minus y equals x squared, so square root. So square root of 2, 2 minus that. So it's 2 minus the square root of 4 minus y. That may be challenging to integrate, so I may have to change. No, that should be all right. And then on the rest of this, up here, this one might be challenging. So we'll see here. So it's going to be 2 pi. The radius will still be y plus 2 times this one. If I solve for y, it's going to be y minus 2 and then the cube root. So times the, so it's going to be 2 minus this piece. So it's going to be 2 minus the cubed root of y minus 2 dy. Okay, 2 pi, 0 to 3. So I've got a little hard to read this. This is 2 minus the square root thing. So I'm going to have y times 2 minus y times the square root of 4 minus y. This is looking ugly. So this is not one to do this way. This is how you would set it up, but I think this is going to be harder to integrate than the disk method. So I'm going to stop here and switch to the disk method, which should be slicing it this way, spin it around here, so there'd be another here, and it'd be a ring, or washer, I should say. Its thickness would be dx, and so we're going to go integral pi r squared, and r will be y plus 2. No, there'll be the large radius minus the small radius. The large radius will be the height of this one plus 2, so it's x cubed plus 2 squared. That's the large radius. Minus the small radius would be 4 minus x squared plus 2, so that would be 6 minus x squared dx. And this does look easier to do. Let's go ahead and do this now. So, and this way it's going to go from 1 to 2. So this one we'll do pi integral from 1 to 2 of x to the 6 plus 8 x to the third plus 16, that's this squared. And then I'm going to square this, that's going to be 36 minus 12x squared plus x to the fourth. And then we got to subtract all these. Dx. And not many of these will go together. So pi x to the 7th over 7th minus, divide by 4, so that's 2x to the 4th. 16 minus 36 is minus 20, so minus 20x. 12 divided by 3 is 4x to the third minus x to the fifth over 5, evaluated from 1 to 2. So we're going to get pi 2 to the 7th, 2 to the 5th, 32, 64, 128. To the 4th to the 5th is 32 minus 40. 8 times plus 32 minus 32 over 5 is the first part, minus 1/7 plus 2 minus 20 plus 4 minus 1/5. So we get 128 minus the 7th is 127 sevenths. I take care of my sevenths. 32 minus 40 is minus 8. Plus 32 is 24. 24 minus 2 is 22. Plus 20 is 42. Minus 4 is 38. I'm going to check that. getting late, so don't trust my math. 32 minus 40 plus 32 minus 2 plus 20 minus 4. 38. Good. And then 30 minus 32 fifths plus a fifth is minus 31 fifths. So we have 7 into 12 once. That means 57. That would be 7 and 8 sevenths plus 38 minus 6 and 1/5. So 17 and 38, 45, 55, 49, and which can't be 8 sevenths. Oh yeah, 7 and 56. Yeah, that would be. Okay, well, I'll leave it 8 sevenths minus a fifth. So that's 5, 5, 40 35ths minus 7 35ths is 40 minus 7 is 33 35ths.